And welcome back, this is Scoople with more Let's Play Pokemon LeafGreen. I am joined as always by Dumpus and his slightly smaller Pokemon squad of Fistamich, Mr. Jency, Samja, Kenny, Cube, and Lord Yawn. When we last left off, we got ourselves yet another gym badge. And I needed to clean up Saffron City. There is just one more place that I need to go, and that was back into the Mimic Tutor's room. Remember that if you give her a Pokédoll, she'll teach you Mimic. I actually missed a nugget hidden in, I assume, the drawer of the desk there. That is all that I can get. Now, I would like to get a water-type Pokemon. I've only gotten one so far, and, well, she died, so I'm hoping to replace Deepsix today, and I'm gonna have to travel around the world a bit in order to get that done. So I will meet you at the first destination where I'm hoping to get the one that I want. Our first stop is back in Pallet Town. Remember that we didn't really do anything here in Pallet Town, but there is a small little body of water. Now, I could surf onto it, but instead I'm going to risk fishing and hope for the best when it comes to that. If you are fishing with a good rod in Fire Red, 60% Horsey, 20% Crabby, 20% Magikarp. If it's Leaf Green, then 20% Horsey, 60% Crabby, 20% Magikarp. But I'm, of course, going for the Super Rod, and I'm going to hope for the best here. Come on, give me something good. A Pokemon is on the hook. If you are playing Fire Red, ooh, that is it. That is what I came to try to get, a Staryu. Staryu does not have a gender, but I don't care too much. I want to catch me a Staryu. It's going to require quite a bit of work on my end, it looks like, but I'm fine with that. Hey, look, you can't hit my Kenny. Come on, Princess Kenny, put it to sleep. Staryu, as I've gone over before, probably one of my favorite water types, probably my third favorite, which is kind of up there considering how many water types there are. I'd go the Squirtle line with Blastoise being my favorite. Then, yeah, I'm not going to bother attacking for the record. I'm just going to start chucking balls at it. I've been collecting balls. I have a few net balls. I bought great balls and ultra balls. Of course, I have the master ball, but I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to go for the net ball right now. But yeah, Blastoise probably first, and then Lapras second, and then Staryu third. Well, Starmie, I guess you could say. Although, it could overtake Lapras in my mind, depending on my mood. But I do enjoy it, and I got it. Okay, that was not entirely what I expected to happen, even though I totally should by this point. I got a Staryu. Yeah. That's not what it sounded like on the show at all. As you can see, it has a Pokemon track that is just like a little dot. It's about 2 feet tall, which is huge for a starfish Pokemon. It weighs 76 pounds, so it is heavy as all hell. An enigmatic Pokemon that can effortlessly regenerate any appendage it loses in battle. Will I give a nickname to the captured Staryu? You bet your ass I will. It's not going to be Staryu. As suggested by Bojack Dowie, this is going to be Popeye. Still can't believe I got it on my first try. There were only like 3 places I could go, and of course the first one, I get the Staryu, and then of course the first one, I catch. What am I going to do? Alright, it goes back to the PC. I will be pulling that out. Let's finish going over availability here, though. If you fish with a Super Rod in Fire Red, 40% chance Shelder, 40% chance Horsey, 15% chance Gyarados, 4% chance Seadra, and 1% chance Psyduck. If you're in Leaf Green like I am, fishing with the Super Rod, then you get 40% Krabby, 40% Staryu, 15% Gyarados, 4% Kingler, and 1% Slowpoke. And I am very happy with what I got. Very happy. I will take a Staryu any day, although Gyarados might have been nice. I was kind of looking for the Staryu. let's take a look at both of the Pokemon that we have caught since I last went over it. Remember that we did get a Lapras handed to us, so we didn't actually catch it. But we did get a Lapras, so we will take a look at that as well. But first and foremost, we want to look at Popeye. Popeye came with an item, which was a Stardust. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it from Popeye, and I'll probably sell it at some point, maybe, if I feel like I need to. Right now, money is not an issue. Let's take a look at Popeye. Popeye is naughty by nature. It's been a while since we've seen that one. It is not particularly good for Popeye here. Increase attack, lower special defense. So, not my favorite for Popeye. Water, of course, uses special, so not something that I'm into. Just pure water for Popeye. If you evolve Popeye, I believe that Starmie is water psychic, but Staryu is just plain water. If we look at Popeye's stats, remember that Popeye is still pretty low level, right? He's about half the level of the rest of my team, and it does look like I got the good ability as well. But we'll go over that in a bit. First, I want to point out special attack and speed are the ones that I'm going to pay the most attention to. Special defense, not too bad. Defense, pretty good. HP is okay for the level. I'll have to work with Popeye quite a bit off screen. Natural Cure is the ability that I got. It heals statuses whenever you switch the Pokemon out or if the battle ends. It's a very useful ability. Helps especially in long grinds and that kind of stuff. I do enjoy the Natural Cure, especially since there are two abilities that Staryu can have, and I got the better of the two. The other one is called Illuminate, which will increase your wild Pokemon encounter rate. It's 200% the normal rate, so it doubles your encounter rate. That's not something that I particularly want, but that only happens when that Pokemon is in the lead. So of course you wouldn't want that Pokemon in the lead if you didn't want to encounter too many Pokemon in the world. In terms of moves, we have Harden. We've seen that one before. We have Water Gun. We have also seen that before, although this one's particularly weird since Popeye does not have a mouth, so to speak of, unless it's like a real starfish, on the back, but Popeye doesn't spit water out the back. Then we have Rapid Spin. This is a useful move in multiplayer. But in single player, it's very limited in its uses. An attack that frees the user from Bind, Wrap, Leech Seed, and Spikes. That's not typically going to be happening to Popeye. I'm never going to have Popeye in there. Probably when any of these moves are going to go off on him, except maybe an Onix. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. But most of the time, Popeye's not going to be in the situation where Popeye's going to be needing Rapid Spin. But in multiplayer, where spikes and that kind of thing are much more commonplace than they are in single player, this becomes a move that some people swear you need at least one Pokemon that learns this in your party. But for our purposes, it's not all that great. It technically does damage too, I guess, but the primary point of having it is to get rid of usually spikes. And then finally, Popeye does have Recover, a self-healing move that restores HP by up to half of the user's maximum HP. Very, very useful. I will try to keep that for a while. But then we also have Lapras. Lapras came to us at level 25, and like I've said before, Lapras is damn good, and I would recommend it, unless you've outlawed it. Lapras is quirky by nature, which means nothing. No stat increases, no stat decreases, though, as well. It is water and ice, one of the few ice types, but most of the ice types in this game are also water types, with only 2 exceptions, but we haven't met either one of those, I don't think. Water Ice, if you're looking for a water type Pokemon, I would highly recommend Lapras because it is ice type and has good moves. Speaking of the stats, though, which I wasn't speaking of, you can see that Lapras is pretty defensive. Not great speed, but to be honest, Lapras doesn't necessarily need it. Good special attack, pretty good defense and special defense. Attack, though, higher than special attack is kind of weird, but what are you going to do? Its ability, Shell Armor, blocks critical hits. Very useful because you don't want Lapras to die, but hey, it's kind of built as a tank, so Shell Armor works very well. In terms of moves, Lapras has a couple, I believe, unique moves, or at least moves that we don't see too often. There's Mist. The ally party is protected by a mist that prevents stat reductions, useful in certain situations, especially in multiplayer. Not something that I'm going to be using here, though. Body Slam we have seen before. You would think that the Pokemon's weight would factor into that, but it totally doesn't. Confuse Ray, and then we have Perish Song. I hate Perish Song because I never use it and it's used against me. Any battler that hears this faints in 3 turns unless it switches. I hate this freaking move. Basically, if I use Perish Song, whoever heard it, including Lapras, I do believe, if they're still out in the field in 3 turns and they haven't switched out, they will die. The opponent, Lapras, whoever. If you're in a double battle, that goes for your allies as well. It's not something that I particularly like, but a lot of people do swear by Perish Song. I'm just not a fan of it. It's instant death in 3 turns unless you switch. So of course I'm gonna switch. Just kind of weird to me. It's weird how that thing works. But those are the 2 Pokemon that we have that are new. It was also pointed out to me by Templayer that I did not go over Drill Peck, so we'll just take a quick look at that. Drill Peck. A corkscrewing attack with the sharp beak acting as a drill. Of course, we have 2 beaks, but that doesn't really put that into account, does it? It has an attack power of 80, accuracy of 100, by far a better attack than Fly, and it is flying, so I'm a big fan of it. Big fan. Alright, those are the 2 new Pokemon that we got. I'm gonna work on Popeye before we move out. Gonna teach it Surf, of course. That's kind of one of the points of me having a water type, and we will decide where we want to go in a bit. Significant amount of level grinding done. Let's take a look at the Pokemon team that I'm going to be going with. We have Fuzimi, Vistamich, Cube, Popeye, Lordyon, and Samja. As you can see, Popeye is now pretty much the same level as everybody else, which is level 40. I also got Rumpus up to that level, and I leveled up Lordyon just a little bit, just a couple levels for her to get up to 40. But Popeye is the one that I did most of the work with. So let's take a look at Popeye. Still naughty by nature. Popeye's stats are pretty good, especially that speed. The special attack is also nothing to really shake your head about, but I do wish it could have been a little bit higher. What are you gonna do? 61 though? Not bad. Popeye does learn quite a lot of useless moves in my opinion, but there were a couple that I did keep. Surf, of course, still is Popeye's main source of attack. It is possibly the best water move in the game, and therefore teach it to all your water Pokemon. Swift, Popeye learned naturally. Star-shaped rays that never miss are fired at all foes in battle. 60 power, never misses. I believe in the first generation it would miss 1 out of 256 times, but I do believe that was fixed. Bubble Beam, I'm not sure if we saw before. A spray of bubbles strikes the foe. It may lower the foe's speed stat, 65 power, 100 accuracy, and then of course Recover is still there. Recover is slightly useful. So that is Popeye. Lordyon just got a couple levels, did not learn anything along the way. We are ready to move out. Where are we ready to move to? Well, oh, that is the wrong button. That is the wrong button. I keep on thinking that's going to be the map button, but that is not the map button. That's how you access the map. We're still here in Fuchsia City. There are, like I said before, a couple options for us to go to. I'm going to head south to Route 19. Now there are a couple trainers here. There are also Pokemon that are available for us. We're going to deal with the trainers first. I have have to exercise and warm up before going out for a swim. I'm sure you do. And we're up against Swimmer Richard, male swimmer, as if that matters. He is like practicing his breaststroke or his butterfly, something weird. Not just playing freestyle. Like, what's the point of learning butterfly? We're up against a Tentacool, so it is time for Fuzimi to get a little bit more work in. Are you kidding me, Fuzimi? You know this thing is good against you, right? Like, it's risky having me out there. Not with those freaking strict though. Magnitude 6. That might do it here. That might do it. Down goes the Tentacool. Fuzimi, I really do need to teach you a better move than Magnitude and Dig, but you're not quite there yet. All right, Shelder's coming out. Fuzimi is not good against Shelder. We will go with let's go with Cube. Cube, I need to get a lot of work in a short amount of time in order to have things work the way that I want, which they're not going to. Oh, I'm getting nervous about it, and it's not for a while. All right, Cube, give me a spark. There we go. Down goes the Shelder. Easy enough. Easy experience for Cube. I mean, he's gonna need a lot of it. All warmed up. You lost. You have like no money. What the hell's your problem, dude? Thanks, kid. I'm ready for a swim. I guess I shouldn't complain about his Speedo money, but still, get more of it.